Okay, so I'm in Johannesburg at the moment. I need to film for my client 3 shoots in 2 days. So tomorrow I've got a whole day shoot, and then on Wednesday it's like a morning shoot, and then in the evening again. So I was at the airport today, and I was just sitting and thinking because my week has been crazy, and I haven't had time to film anything or prepare for anything. So while I was sitting there, I was reminded of Proverbs 6, verse 6 to 11, where it speaks about um, consider the ant, right? Go to the ant, you sluggard, consider her ways and be wise, which, having no captain, overseer, or ruler, provides her supplies in the summer and gathers her food in her harvest. How long will you slumber, O sluggard? When will you arise from your sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep. So shall your poverty come on you like a prowler, and your need like an armed man. Now, it's quite interesting that it talks about your poverty, which is very interesting. It might just be the translation that it just talks about your poverty. Um, but anyway, and it talks here about like a prowler. Now, I don't know if you have seen a prowler. A prowler basically looks like this. So you get a snow prowler, and you get one that goes into the dirt that they use. They used to like pull it with a horse, and it will literally just rip open the the ground. And it says that it will attack. Come upon means there's another word that means to attack you. So that prowler will literally come and attack you and like rip you apart. That's how your poverty will come, like a prowler. Because of a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands. Now, those of you that know ants, they you know that ants work hard. They carry a lot of weight, like more than twice as much as what they weigh, and they're always working. And for I'm grateful to be at the place where I am right now because for 3 years we used to live in lack, and in those 3 years I had to work really hard to get somewhere, to make something, make a business successful. 3 years ago, I I was basically in my corporate job for 3 months, high paying corporate job. While I was there for those 3 months, earning nice money, the Lord spoke to me the one morning and He said to me, Verto, you need to start your own business. I was like, well, I'm not going to do that right now because I just started working for this company. And every morning when I was there early, I would get there at 5 o'clock because I wouldn't want to sit in traffic. So I got up, go to work super early, sit there and pray. And every morning the Lord said to me, Vota, you need to start your own business. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to because, my wife, she's going to think I am crazy for doing this. And that went on for like 2 months. Then we had our yearly church conference, and one of the pastors, he was sitting there and we were having lunch, and he just looked at me and he said to me, why haven't you started what the Lord asked you to start? And I knew exactly what he was talking about. And I said, well, the Lord needs to speak to my wife. And then he said, yes, but he spoke to you. You need to do it. And I said, well, we need to be in agreement. My wife needs to also agree on this because with two agreeing on anything, it will be established, right? And so I called my wife and I said to her, listen to what the pastor has to say. And she listened. And that evening we had an argument about this. And as we were laying in bed, and she turned around and said, you know what? If the Lord said that you need to do this, then you need to do that. I said, okay, fine. Next day, I go back to work. I tell the boss I'm resigning He immediately got upset and he said, "You can leave by the end of the week." I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's fantastic." Because I was planning, according to the contract, it says 3 months. So I was working, thinking, okay, for 3 months I can still earn a salary because I need to work for 3 months. And he's like, "No, you're done." Anyway, so off I go. Uh, s- then I just had nothing and I had to start my business. Now, think about this. I had nothing. I had no idea what I was going to do. I had no clients prepared. I wasn't prepared for anything. I just had to stick it out and just do what I was supposed to do. So I started my business, and every day I would just wake up, pray, and read, and ask the Lord, "What do you want me to do today?" Because I've got no idea what to do. I don't have any clients. I don't know what to do. And every day I would work on my business and trying to figure out things. But I would pray, and every month, at the end of the month, the Lord would bless me with either someone saying they had this unction on their heart that they need to bless us. And it would be the exact amount that we need every single month. And it was either someone would bless us or I would get a random job from someone random. And one month I was sitting there and I was like so tired of just praying all the time and asking the Lord for the same thing for finances. And then I read that scripture and it made me realize, you know what? It's not just gonna come. I need to put in work as well. The Lord will bless me when I put work, when I put my hands to work. So, what did I do? I put my hands to work and I started filming for free cars. And eventually they loved it. They sent me more cars. And that got me, because I used to shoot cars for GWM, General World Motors, and it would be for Haval, the Aura, the Tank, all those nice cars. And that eventually led to doing some work with BMW, where I got paid to film BMW cars. And that BMW, those BMW car, and those and that work that I did for BMW eventually attracted the client that I am filming for the next 3 days. And in fact, this client keeps me so busy that I am all over the place. I'm hardly at home, which is great in a sense, but it also made it possible for me to be a blessing to others. So now I'm able to have someone come with me, help me film, and I'm able to pay for this person. I'm able to bless them. I'm able to help them grow and develop as well as a filmmaker or a photographer. And so that just made me realize that we can't always just sit and wait on the Lord. Yes, He can bless us, He will find people to bless us, but we can't just sit there and expect it to happen. We have to actually put to work. We have to put ourselves to work. We have to get going. But you need to ask Him what you need to do. What does He want you to do? And so that is my whole point, is that if you're wanting to make an extra income, this is how you're going to do it. You need to wake up in the morning and you need to pray. You need to ask the Lord for guidance and you need to put work into action. Like, you make something happen, because it's not just going to happen. You're not just going to receive clients. You need to actually physically do something about it. I'm not saying that you need to toil, but you're going to need to work hard. You're going to need to put in the effort. You're going to need to put it in the reps. So when you get a client, the client is satisfied. They like your work. They want more of your work. And that's when they will stick to you and ask you for everything all the time. And especially when you're a kingdom business, you want your business to be focused on what the Lord wants. And so it can literally just be you and God talking, and just have like fellowship with Him. Like, think about Him first and ask Him first instead of you thinking, oh, I'm just going to do this. Like, no, no. Ask Him first. Is this going to work? Do you want me to do this? I thought about this. What do you think? And when you start doing that, you'll start seeing the Lord starts ordering your steps. He's guiding you, He's leading you, and He will show you the right steps to take. And sometimes you would think, yo, that's a bit weird or crazy. But then it turns out, and it turns out to be amazing. There were a lot of mornings that I had to wake up super early just to go and film cars at sunrise. But I had to put in the hard work. And I did that for 3 years, where I had to trust the Lord every single month just to make it work. So it's now finally at the place where it's starting, it's snowballing, and I am so grateful for that. So if you are someone that is trying to make an extra income, don't give up. Just keep going and ask the Lord what He wants you to do and how much He wants you to do it. So don't think of doing things yourself. Think a little bit longer. Think a bit deeper. Have fellowship with Him. And you'll actually see how quickly things start to snowball. So, anyways, I have to get going. I have to get done because tomorrow morning is an early morning. So, yeah, as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.